प्रसन्नवदनं सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदं तं भक्तानां एकदन्तम् उपास्महे ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवम् उपास्महे आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवम् उपास्महे कृष्णं कमलपत्राक्षं पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनं वासुदेवं जगद्योनिं नौमि नारायणं हरिं नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्रा येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः So we are in the Vidura Neeti section of Mahabharata. There are so many gems in Mahabharata. So Ratnani, Mahabharata itself is a Moksha Shastra and it is a Yoga Shastra, it is a Raja Shastra. Oh, so many Shastras are involved. And apart from all that, it's also taken as a Niti Shastra. And all these things constitute to declare that Mahabharata is a Moksha Shastra. And also declared to be among the Sarasa sentiment, it is said to be Shanta Rasa. So it's really a debating question, but Anandavardhana and some other Alankarikas will say that what is the rasa ultimately in Mahabharata is Shanta. So Shantam means peace. That peace is moksham. So in order that that kind of peace ultimately to be obtained, we want also Niti, and that Niti, who is eligible to tell Niti also is important. Because eligibility leni vallu Niti margal chepte, people are not ready to listen to them. Therefore, Maha Niti Parulu, Dharma Parulu, Shastrajnanalu and Vinayavantulu, elanti vallanta kalisi ఏమన్నా నీతి చెప్తే అప్పుడు ఆ నీతికి విలువ ఉంటుంది. కానీ it is hard for us in life to find such people who are eligible, who conduct themselves like in the Niti Marga, and who have boldness or courage to talk about the moral science. Niti is the moral science. So, in moral science gurinchi maatladalante, it is good. It is really good effort, and whatever that moral given is forming what you call as a moral education. So, moral education is important. And people are by birth immoral also. Nobody need to go to colleges and universities to get degrees in the immorality. But dushta dura, durachara samani, dosha varjita, sarvagna. So these kind of things will tell us from Lalita Sahasranamam that there should be higher power, which is really potential and powerful, to be able to drive away all this kind of wicked habits, wicked thinking, wicked sentiments, and also try to shun the bad behavior, durachara, hurting others, commenting on others in a sarcastic manner. And so like that, there are so many ways. That's a durachara. And again, moreover, there must be dosha varjita. So doshagalu are there. Estondu doshagalidenದ್ರೆ their list will still be overpower the list of the dosha rahityas or sat pravartana. So sat pravartana will lead us on a right path. You see, Kalidasa, for example, tells that in Malavikagnimithram, what Paramatma should guarantee you is Sanmargalokanaya. So you have to look at the moral pathways, full of morality or so, and that is Sanmarga. And Alokana, you must be able to focus your attention, because normally our eyes are attracted to different other things than on good things. Therefore, Avalokanaya, and what is that prevents Avalokana is the Tamasa Vritti. Sattva, Rajo, Tamo gunas are there. Among these, the Tamasa guna is too much. Everybody is having a lot of. ಆ ತಾಮಸ ಗುಣವನ್ನು ವರ್ಜನ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವೆನ್ ಎ ರಿವರ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ಫ್ಲೋಯಿಂಗ್, ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ grass and other things floating and coming on way. But what you have to do is you try to clear that which is floating and all that, then you get a pure water. So like that, this morality is a most important aspect which is being taken up in the entire Mahabharata separately, especially addressing to Dhritarashtra, who is the emperor and who is the father of 100 sons and a daughter, who is the brother of Panduraja, and so on. He has got so much of pedigree and importance, but he is blind. He is born blind. And even when he was given eyes, he asked Krishna, I don't want the eyes, because he knew that the world is full of so many things, more bad, more disrupting things, and so on. So he asked Krishna to take back the vision he provided to him. So you observe that Vidura is a very sane person, and but he could not get the Adhyayana. He could not get Rajyadhikara, but because he is not eligible for that, and he was Sudra born considered. Therefore, he was, because of his knowledge and all that, Vidura was made as the minister to Dhritarashtra, but his minister here, he has been very much advising. So now in the Vidura Neeti section, where so many people have been trying to explore, explain, and expose all these important communications and messages. And we had a sample talk on that by some other scholars. So now we are going with the text, that is 36th chapter, and now 27th sloka we are having. And in course of talk, so it was said Mahakula, the Sabda of Mahakula is introduced, and otherwise called, in Kalidasa puts that Mahakula as Uchchaihi Kula. See, Kula is the family that lives upon the earth continuously from so father, child, grandson, again grandson, etc., etc. So the parampara is there. That exactly is called Kula. Ku is the earth, La is the lava. So as long as people connected to you exist on the earth, that is the labha you have got, and you will be redeeming yourself from Pitruruna. And ಆ ಕುಲಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಉತ್ತಮ ಕುಲಗಳಿದೆ, those who have very regard for the tradition and follow up of the traditional practices. Therefore, such kind of great kulas are called Mahakulas. Then Ucha Kulas. Now in that 27th sloka I am reading. Brahmananam paribhavatu parivadachya bharata kulani akulatam yanti nyasapaharana haranena cha kulani samupetani gobhihi purushato swataha kulasangham nagachanti yani hinani vruttatastu vihinani kulani alpadhanyapi kulasankhyantu gachanti karshanti cha Mayadyashaha. So in these three slokas, you observe that what are the things that are like a drain to the Mahakulatvam. Because Kulahinaru, a Kulavana Nasha Madodu, Tumba Sulaha. That's why Bhartruhari is very cautious. He says, Sajato yena jatena yati vamsaha sumannatim. So, ಒಬ್ಬರ ಬರ್ತ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಬರ್ತಿಂದ ಕುಲವರ್ಧನ ಅಂತ ಕುಲಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಕೀರ್ತಿಯುಕ್ತವಾಗಿರಬೇಕು ಫಾರ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಅಚೀವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಹಿಯರ್ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣಾನಾಂ ಪರಿಭವಾತ್, ಒನ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇನ್ಸಲ್ಟ್, one should not unnecessarily blame, and one should not ill-treat or speak ill of the Brahmanas. Of course, this point is already established in our Upanishads, Taittiriya Upanishad and Mahanarayana Upanishad, and elsewhere. You have got great regard for the Brahma, because Brahmanas are those who are voting for the Brahmagnanam. So, Brahmanaha Brahmagnananaha. And Brahmana does not get to anybody by virtue of birth. So Manu said already, Janmana Jayate Sudra. Janma is a Sudra Janma. Our Sudra Janma has got to be removed by samskaras, by observing all that. Therefore, Anta Brahmanana Avamana illa matadadu, one bad feature, and Parivadascha Bharata. Keep on arguing like a fool. Arguments you should avoid, especially when elders tell something, there will be always meaning. And you cannot talk anything against or argue, keep on arguing. It's a foolishness. So, because, we have got in Sanskrit a beautiful saying, Kochit Maharshinam Shapaha Sanugraho Bhavati. Don't consider if Maharshis are giving curse, it will not be very much detrimental always, but it will be anugraha on one hand. And it will be a kind of positive plus sign to all people. For example, I can tell you, Durvasa Maharshi is a good example. When he was observing the private movements of Indra with the Urvasi in a lonely place, in a forest or so, which he was going by, and he became curious. In fact, he was in search of finding a girl to be his wife. And he was going to the ashrama, request the ashrama rishis to spare their daughter in marriage to him and let him be a married man. Because suddenly he felt that he must become a family man. Samsara beku, wife beku, and asa bantu. So ultimately went on searching, but no rishi was willing to give their daughter, just because that he is eccentric seer, highly kopana. Achyati kopanaha Durvasahanta. And by the name itself, it is very difficult to coexist with Durvasa Maharshi. Dukkhena vasaha sadhyate. So if at all you want to be friendly with Durvasa Maharshi, it's very hard, because he's a highly short-tempered person, eccentric person. Therefore, supposing you start arguing with the Maharshis, it is a problem.
Send out campaign literature for Mr. Silva, who died of cancer in September at the age of 56.
So the Durvasa Maharshi,
I think they did a disservice to members of their party by not informing.
Durvasa Maharshi
Smith told ABC 10 News in San Diego.
Indra.
My frustration is compared to their frustration.
Please mute.
Silva passed away and they voted for. Special election will be held in Chula Vista, which officials estimate will cost between $1 million and $2 million.
Mute your phone. So that Durvasa Maharshi was cursed by Indra that you will suffer separation from your wife for 1,000 years. Durvasa Maharshi did not speak a word for the curse that Indra gave to him. He silently, bowing down his head, passed away in his own way. And then afterwards, when he continued his search, there was one Rishi who agreed to give his daughter in marriage to Durvasa Maharshi, and the marriage took place, etc., etc. So what I am telling is, Durvasa Maharshi did not give the curse back, or he did not speak anything. He knew that he has done what should not be done. So he just bowed down and went away. That's exactly example is Parivada cha Bharata. Keep on arguing or trying to react for that. No. And akulani akulatam yanti nyasa apaharanani cha. Another important bad quality is somebody comes and keeps certain things at you as to guard it. Then if you deprive them after their return or demand or request, it's a Mahaparadham. That's exactly what happened in Pandavas. Pandavas have completed their Agnatavasa also, came back and asked for share in the land. But Duryodhana refused. Therefore, the Kulinatvam, Mahakulatvam is done for, even for Dhritarashtra like that. Therefore, here also, when Nyasa is Aparana done, when you snatch away or own what has been deposited in you, then it is also it's also a crime. In other words, crime and punishment is an important topic in our literature, in our Vedic. So always the crimes are also mentioned, the punishment also is mentioned, and the way how you can reduce or get rid of the effect of the crimes also are given scope. So like that, here the crime is that if you take away the other's money, others nyasa, because nyasa is something where there is a trust. Our trust, and if you break the trust, there is no different thing than that hopeless. That's why Mahakulani, Kulanya Kulatam Yanti, and Kulani Savapetani Gobhihi Purushataha Aswataha Kulusanghatam Nagachanti Yani Hinani Vrittataha. So Hina Vritti is that where people lose all that. But if you are able to have a positive activity, and therefore in 29th sloka he says, Vrittataha tu avihinani kulani alpadhanani api kulasanghantu gachanti karshanti mayadyasaha. So wanting in wealth, but distinguished by the manners and good conduct, are regarded as such and with great reputation. So this is he is also giving that Vidura is giving also the ways how you can protect your kulam, because kula dharma, kula rakshana, kulonnati, and etc. will lead us to the Mahakulas. And it is not simply a credit to be born in a noble family, but it is important for us who are born in the family, noble family, to enhance and to maintain and to sustain all those kirti of the elders. Now 30th sloka, Manaha kule, Manakule, Vairakrutu, Kaschidastu, Raja Amatyo, Ma Paraswapahari, Mitradrohi, Naikritiko Anruto va Purva Siva Pitru Deva Atithibhyaha. Purva Siva Pitru Deva Atithibhyaha. Oh, beautiful. Many things what are mentioned by Vidura are in vogue in these days. But we are not aware that many people are not aware that this kind of deviation from the normal course of behavior is a problematic one. And as long as the kriya is being done, people are happy. But the result comes only after the kriya. So kriyasyante palitani. That's why in Durga Suktam, Ammavaru, Durga Parameswari is described to be karma phale shujustam tam agnivarnam tapasa jwalantim vairochanim. karma phaleshu jushtam Durgam Devi. So karma phaleshu jushtam, who is Durga? She is a fire. And she is all energy embodiment. So she knows without any reservations to grant karma phala. So karma is important. That's why karma is a yoga. Krishna has taken so much time in the war time, at the critical hour, war time, to inspire Arjuna to come back to his original nature. So because Klaibyam Masmagava Partha, so to observe dharma, one should require courage. To speak truth, one should require courage. To argue in favor of Nyayam, one should require courage. So that courage, when it becomes dull and drop down, then problems crop up. Krishna was able to mend that kind of difficulty in the sentiments, and then he put him back on the track. With what vigor and enthusiasm he came, the same Arjuna picked up and then took the Gandiva and done. So like that, here, but there are, what is that? Naha kule vairakrut kaschidastu. Normally, let none in our family be a foe or be a person to pick up quarrels. And also Vairakrutu and Raja Amachyaha and Amachyaha Paraswapahari. There should not be any king minister also. See, who wants to become a king again? And minister must be in his own limits. And secondly, Mitra Drohi, and he should not be betraying one's own friend, trust. So to spoil the trust between two friends is a very important crime. And that has got to be protected. In fact, Rama and Sugriva are taken to be wonderful friends. But Rama is afraid that Sugriva may be hurt in his own behavior. So he behaves very, very clever and very much convenient. In the same manner, even Sugriva. So that's why this Rama Sugriva Saukhya means Sakhyata is a proverbial one. Otherwise, in what manner Sugriva is bothered to send to delegate, to deploy all his army, to fight with Ravanasara, with whom has no enmity at all. Same manner, when dharma is being observed, Rama interfered between the brothers, and he killed Vali, and he has justification for that, because Vali objected. I never know you. I never know you. You are not my enemy. I never saw you. But why at all you shot arrow at me? So the question is really interesting, put forth by Vali to Rama, and Rama had answered, and that answer has convinced Vali, and so much that he trusted Rama and made his Angada, son, kept in his hands for further protection and maintenance. And like that, you see. So Mitra Droha is a crime. And Naikritikaha Anrutaha. So provoke some kind of non-moral principles in them. So that's called Naikritikaha. And Anruti, always doing Anyayam, Abadham, Mosam. And the most important, which is happening now, you all of you see, so Pitru Deva Atitibhyaha Purva Asi. Nobody should eat food or lunch before the Pitru Pinda Pradana, or before the elders or parents take their food, and before making Naivedya for the gods, Deva, Atithi, before giving food or serving food for the guests. Purvasi. So he is also one who will spoil the dignity, pedigree of the family. One should not eat before the elders in the house. before the god is offered, before the sishyas, before the guests are looked after. But nowadays you observe, this rule is never followed by anybody. Yarige aro purandara vithala. When kitchen alli menu idre, yar bekadre our time prakara, all of them will come, have their food and go away. Ultimately, sometimes it happens, the eldest member of the family, father or grandpa, etc., he will have to eat after eating all people. But so we have got this question of lion's family. Lion first eats, then allows the all people to eat. Well, all such our Indian noble traditions have become very much thin these days, and therefore we have consequences that we are seeing now. So many nursing homes, so many hospitals, so many doctors, so many medical shops in one street, and so on. But anyway, the Vidura is telling that Purvasi, none should eat before serving the rishis, the gods, and the guests. Pitru is the elderly people in the house. First, elderly people should be fed, and then they should eat. Where are these things? And gone with the wind. And in the now I am reading the 31st sloka. Yaschano brahmanam hanyat, yaschano brahmana dvishetu, naha samitim gacchedu, yaschano nirvapet krushim. So in a family, if anybody were to kill a Brahmin, see, yaha kule brahmanam hanyat, no Brahmin should be killed. That's called Brahmicide. Homicide is a problem, is also a great sin. But Brahminicide also is especially important. In the same way, even to Stri Hatya is also a adharma and papakari. Therefore, you see that kind of dharma being observed by Rama. When you call Rama as Dharma Murti, Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. And Valmiki Maharshi is telling, he is justified. When Vishwamitra took Rama, Lakshmana, and asked them to kill Tataki, the first encounter in his as a hero, and he was asked by Vishwamitra Maharshi to kill a woman, Tataki. So there, Rama at first says, no, sir, I will not kill a woman. I will get more sin, and it's adharma for me. Then Vishwamitra, convinced with his own arguments, and made Rama agree. On the other hand, not only that was a point for Rama, I believe, his father, Dasaratha, had told, whatever Dasaratha, Vishwamitra tells, you just obey. And so he remembers his father's words, because Ramayana is voting for the importance of the father. And Mahabharata is voting for mother. Therefore, Ramayana and Mahabharata form one coin, where father and mother both. But unfortunately, there is a lot of gap in between these two, and therefore, first Pitru Bhakti, then Matru Bhakti. In fact, it is said, until Gandhari allowed or permitted Duryodhana to declare war upon Pandavas, he could not do it. So a final war was only at the consent of that Gandhari, and therefore, in other words, the entire Mahabharata war is between two daughters-in-laws, Kunti and Gandhari. So, number of interpretations could be done. How two daughters-in-laws ultimately agree that they should go to war to claim the dharma or share of dharma, or to establish dharma, etc. So here, naha brahmana vishet, nobody should be have aversion feelings towards Brahmins. They should be always promoting the Brahminic behavior. Secondly, ma na naha saha samiting gached, Yahano nirvapet krushim. So one should not injure the agricultural operations. Suppose somebody wants to cultivate land in a righteous manner and sow seeds and bring more and more crops and all that, one should not go and try to stop them from that kind of activity. And so the other one was, so gachet, yascha no nirvapet krushim is one, and nanaha samiting gachet. And one should not agree to join those people who do not deserve, with whom they can be friendly. So even choosing the friendship, you should be judicious. You should be considerate. That point has been illustrated to us. I'm just again going back to Ramayana, where you see between when Vibhishana was hanging in the sky, seeking permission to land into the Ramakshetra, he cannot immediately land there. He sent envoy. Then Rama, knowing that Vibhishana, the brother of Ravana, the enemy, is there, came to Saranagati, though nobody was willing to admit him down into their portals. But what did Rama do? Rama took the counsel of, consulted Anjaneya, because he is one who knows Vibhishana better than anybody. So, but Anjaneya Swami, Hanuman, is so great that he just put the facts, but never gave his opinion, saying that, oh, Vibhishana is very good, he saved me, and he is good in the work. He never talked at all in favor of Vibhishana at all. He just explained what happened and kept quiet, mum. And it was up to the mind of Rama to take the decision. Therefore, the whole decision responsibility was left to Rama. That's exactly what we have got to catch. That's why the last line tells you that, but Vibhishana knew much, Rama knew and took a bold decision. And in Kambaramayanam, there is one question put forth by Sugriva or somebody, that suppose, see, you have promised Rajyam, Lanka Rajyam for Vibhishana. Supposing somebody, Ravana comes and takes Saranagati with you, what do you do? Then Rama had answered that I will give my Ayodhya to Vibhishana and make Ravana continue in Lanka. If at all it happens, it is something very hard, absurd. So the great people will have alternative also before they grant permission or agree for some things. That's exactly the dharma that has been taught to us. So please remember, next month, December 17th and 18th, we are going to have a conference, annual day celebrations of our Kendra, Nada Veda Kendra, where for 2 days we have got the theme that dharma and adharma, and the voter is for them, their success and consequences ultimately. Those who promote dharma, they also be victors. Those who promote adharma, they also enjoy life. But ultimately what would happen is again pointed out to us in Mahabharata. So anyway, like that, we have got to talk about that next month with the sharing of the knowledge and thinking by great scholars. Even I have asked Ghare also to do the job. He has had to come out. Anyway, so the next mantra, you have next month sloka, it is Krishna, he said, Trunani bhumihi udakam vak chaturthi cha sundruta satametani geheshu nochadjante kadachana. So these are all the things. That is Truna, and also the 33rd stanza, Sraddhaya paraya rajan upanitani satkrutim pravruttani mahaprajna dharminam punyakarmanam. How long he can enlist those things which spoil the pedigree or dignity of Mahakulas. So he has given us few examples. Vidura has given a few examples, and immediately he will tend to the other one. Now in the last, as the last point of the straw on the camel's back or so, he says, Trunani bhumihi udakam vak chaturthi cha sunruta satametani gruheshu geheshu nochidyante kadachana. So these are never wanting in the houses of the good. That is, straw, trunani means a darbhasanam. Why? Bhumihi, ground for sitting upon them. Then udakam, the water to wash the feet and face. And vak, and the sweet talk. And anruta, that is speaking truth, sweet words convincingly. These are not in the houses, but these are all important for other things. So, Trunani, Bhumihi, Udakam, Vak, Chaturthim, Chasunruta, Sata Metani, Geheshu, Nochidjante Kadachana. See, in the noble families, that's what we say, Vedic families. So, those people who have got that Vaidika Sampradaya, Vaidika Achara, they will have all these things. In fact, it is said that if you sit on Darbhasana or Kushasana, then the power of the japam or austerity that you do would be enhancing. That's why you will see when Rama sat on the shore of the ocean to observe meditation upon Samudra to get his blessings and approval to build a bridge. He sat on Kushasanam. That's what we observe. And as at the advice of Angada, Sugriva, Jambavan, he sat for 3 days on the shore on Kushasana. And so that was the principle. And so Trunani, Bhumi is a seating. That's why everybody will do Bhu Suddhi, Bhu Namaskara, if at all you want to build a house, you should do that Bhumi Puja. So like that, Bhumi and Udakam, the water. Why water? You have to always be clean to do all religious things. So you observe in India, at one time, long time, they will have water kept at the entrance of the door of the house, and they wash their hands and feet and then enter, because the house also is called Manushyalaya, Devalaya, Manushyalaya, Pasualaya, and Pakshyalaya. Like that, we have got all our alaya. The very word alaya tells that it is total resting place where you can get rid of your fatigue and stress and all that labor you exercised outside the house. Therefore, everybody is alayam. So they simply say Sri Nilayam, Ramanilayam, like that they put a board to the compound wall, but inside hot homes. So they put also the board, home sweet home, but you don't enter inside. So look at Ramanilayam and read only sweet home and go away better. Supposing you happen to go inside in the morning hours, you can see every member in the house is very much angry, shouting and all that. But that is not that. So in a family of Vedic traditions and Vedic practices, that will be absolute calm and peace and quiet. So when you enter into such a house, you feel so pleasant. A pleasant feeling, guests are bandre, and there is nothing higher than that. Therefore, prashantanga untundi. Meer intiloki vellangane outside disturbances are dulled, you feel something there. That's why even Purandardasa also told, wherever you go only, Namure Vasi. He said, what our house, our town where we are born, we are living, that is always the best. So like that, he says, Satameta Gruheshu no Chente Kadachana. So these are all the things, Vedic practices. In fact, we remember, I have crossed the time. No. You remember that we are being told how should be our conduct, and that conduct must be congenial for our prosperity and health. So in the same manner, he says, in houses, all things are happening. So house is the origin place, genesis for all kinds of behavior. Therefore, mother is the first guru, father is also a rakshaka, and all other things. If that were to be the temperament in the house, people remain moralistic and contributory to the society. That's why in Aswamedha Yaga, we have got a beautiful Rashtra Gita, where it said, A Brahman Brahmano Brahmavarchasi Jayatam, A Rashtre Rajanyaha Shuraishavyo Ativyadhi Jayat, Maharatho Jayatam, Dogdhri Dhenuho, Odhan Advan. So these are all Vedic Sampradayas. And Odhan Advan, Asus Saptihi, Purandhiryosha, Jishnu Ratheshtaha, Asya Jamanasya Jayatam, Nikame Nikame Naha, Parjanyo Varshatu, Palavatyo na Osadaya Pacyantam, Yoga Kshemo Naha Kalpetam. These are all the Vedic practices which have got to be observed. That's why Shankara also said, Vedo Nityamadhiyatam, Taduditam Karmasu Anushtiyatam. That much he said. In our own actions, you try to follow up the Vedic practices, Veda Dharma. So of all the dharmas in the world, the Veda Dharma is constantly flowing. It is never disturbed at all. Therefore, he says, Gadachana no chidyante gruheshu. Chedana agodella, in the houses, they will be always prosperous. And if houses are like that, then there will be a lot of peace and amity in the town. Otherwise, they also told, if everybody were to clean their portico and decorate it with rangoli, then the entire street is beautiful. That was the practice. That was the practice. So every morning, anybody from the house would go out, clean the portico and put water, sprinkle water and make it strong. And then over that, with rice flour, they used to have rangoli. And when you walk in that street, it was such a grand sight for you and happiness. So, but nowadays that has gone off. Nobody cleans their porticos at all. So, these are all the Vedic practices. And because, why that kind of invitation should be done? Because Devaha Prathamo Atitihe Manushyanam. Shatavada Brahmana, Yajurveda tells us that whether X comes or Y comes or nobody comes, but the God certainly visits your house every day morning, right in the morning. Therefore, we have the Bhagya Suktam where we say, Pratar Indra, Pratar Agnim, Pratar Indram, Havamahe, Pratar Mitra, Varuna. So these are all Vedic practices. All of them are being included in this 32nd sloka, the Vedic practices. Now I am reading the 33rd sloka. Shraddhaya Paraya Rajan, Upanitani Satkrutim, Pravruttani Mahaprajna, Dharminam Punya Karmanam, Sukshmopi Bharam, Trupate, Syandanovo, Vai, Syandanove Shaktaha, Vodhum Natathanye, Mahijaha, Evam Yuktaha, Bharasaha, Bhavanti, Mahakulina, Natathanye Manushyaha. So, these are very, see how much practical knowledge that has been given by Vidura, and they are not simply high rate knowledge which are impossible to practice. But in Mahabharata times, in many places, what was practiced, all that has been reminded by Vidura, because he is actually telling Rajan, and then he calls about, he describes them as Rajan, Drupati. So when these compliments are given to Dhritarashtra, it is appealing to the conscience. It is appealing to the conscience of the Paramatma. Oh, have I crossed the time? Oh, no, I'm on the road. I think still I got some more time. Shraddhaya Paraya Rajan Upanitani Satkrutim. See, virtuous men devoted to the practice of righteous acts, when desirous of entertaining the guests, these things they do it. That is ready for being offered with reverence. See, pravruttani mahaprajna dharmani punya karmanam. So here he's talking about the great people, like they are all called, the mahaprajna is an addressal to is an addressal to Dhritarashtra. Also, Rajan is an addressal to Dhritarashtra. So slowly, when Vidura addresses like that to Dhritarashtra, he is trying to hit upon the sentiment and consciousness and also the elderly quality that he has got in him, while all other people are youngsters, and so his responsibility is more. Therefore, punya karmanam dharmanam pravruttani. Punya karmanam. See, punya karma and papa karma. So, punya karma is always positive. What is punya karma? Righteous actions. And respecting the guests who come to your house. That's why one of the great writers says that take everybody at first as good fellow, but judge, and that his nature will be revealed to us in next moment. Therefore, it's a fish and flesh, the fish and man smell at first. So fish is good, man is good, but the smell makes you to differentiate it. Like that here, he says, Paraya Sriddhaya Upanitani Satkrutim. See, what is punyam is Paraya Sriddhaya Upanitani. There is a lot of talk on the expression Shraddha, on the concept Shraddha. We have got also Shraddha Suktam. You must have great faith and belief. That's what is called Shraddha. So Shraddhaya Deyam, Ashraddhaya Adeyam. So in Upanishad, we have got that you should always give things with full mind. Sampurna Manasinda Kodabeku. Not with half mind. Therefore, he says Shraddhaya. Adu, what kind of Shraddhaya? Paraya. And even while taking our food also, we have been taught in the Upanishad, Pranahutigalu. Shraddhayam praneni vishto amrutam juhomi, like that. So prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. For these pancha pranas, we first offer sample of food to us, and then only you start eating the food. That is what is the sampradaya. Brahmana, Vaisya, Kshatriyas are being advised that they should not simply jump upon eating whatever is served in the plate, complete it before next item comes. That's a very wrong habit. So when everything is served, when some ghee also, abhikaroti. Abhikaroti means that's the final doing or serving that anybody, Ejamana, will do for the guest. So when that abhikaroti is done, when ghee is offered, that means everything has been served to you on your plate, on your leaf. And then you can say, and remember Gayatri and do it. So prana, that's what Shraddha is the role of Shraddha is there any and everywhere while eating, while starting to eat the food, while giving dana to others or offering, or while doing puja. That's why Krishna, you observe in 13, there is a separate chapter, Shraddha Yoga. Shraddha's Yoga is there. Shraddha, he spared one chapter on Shraddha Yoga, then Kshetrajna Yoga, etc., etc. So just to silence and remove the Vishada of Arjuna, that you see Krishna has taken 17 yogas, and ultimately Arjuna was convinced and he becomes ready for war. Like that, here, pravruttani dharmanam, dharminam punya karmanam, dharmin. You see the word dharmin means anybody who cares dharma very much. In that aspect, Rama tops the priority list. He says that when soon after he married and brought Sita home in Ayodhya, what he said, Rishibhihi tulyam mam vidhi, Sita ke heltane, Rishibhihi tulyam mam vidhi kevalam dharmam asritam. He says that, Sita, please consider me equal to that of a Rishi. I live a saintly life. And don't imagine me to be doing this, that, grabbing all things and encroaching and claiming and all. No, I just live a normal life, that of a rishi. And so Rishibhi Tulyam Mam Vidhi, and what is my resort there? Kevalam Dharmam Asritam. So I'm only voting for Dharma. So Dharmastraya, na, very few people take it, because Dharma, everybody tries to swerve from Dharma and look to their personal advantages. But Dharminam means those who vote for Dharma, who live the Dharma. And such people are called Dharmins. And further, who are they? They're all called and they're also called Punya Karmas. Those who are doing that kind of thing, they are always on the side of Punyam. And Pravruttani means practiced. They're all practiced by them. So what is that? Mahaprajna is highly aware of so much of knowledge and philosophy and all that. So Rajan Upanitani Satkrutim Sraddhaya Paraya. So you have to always Satkruti, Dushkruti, Kruti. These are the three combinations we have got in that in Sanskrit. So, but Sukruti is always Satkruti or Sukruti is always voted. Even Shankaracharya in Saundarlari says, Katham Akruta Punyaha Prabhavati. So Punya is one target for all people. And if they observe that, they become Kruta Punyas. And if they don't, then Akruta Punyas. So actually, our human life upon the earth, when we touch the scriptures and the rishis and their authors and all that, ours is a very delicate life. We cannot live life as we want, but we have to live life as the elders or as the rishis, as great people pointed out to us. Sanmarga Lokanaya. We always look at Durmarga, Aviniti, but Aviniti and we have to try to overpower that. And but it's really difficult. Something like when you send one package, glass one, it says glass handled with care. Or when you have more than 50 kgs, 50 pounds, the airport walas will put heavy, careful, like that label they put. So what does it mean? That we should be always under the Punya acts and Punya Karmanam, Pravruttani, Dharminam. So these things ready for being offered and with reverence. And again, the next 34th stanza, beautiful. Suchmaha api bharam drupate syandano vai shaktaha vodham na tatha anye mahijanam mahijaha evam yuktaha bharasaha bhavanti mahakulinaha na tatha anye manushyaha. He brought a beautiful comparison between that. See, bharam. So, Sushma api bharam drupate syandanaha shaktaha. See, a sandal tree, a tree is capable of, competent enough to bear weights which the timbers of other trees, much thicker, cannot. And so they belong to high families. And those people always are able to bear the weight of great cares, which ordinary men cannot. So there is a distinction made between the Mahakulinaha, Manushyaha. Manushyaha are the ordinary people, Mahakulina. So for example, among all trees, the sandal tree is really important. Thin, though the sandal tree is thin, but still Sushma is thin or not capable. But it is capable of, though the size is small, but it is able to bear heavy weights. Though there are other trees which are stronger, but they will not. But so this is, we have got to think over much, that vodhum na tatha anye mahijaha. Mahijaha are those who are born upon the land. Could be manushyaha. could be trees, could be the mountains. So whatever that are born, that have come up from the earth, they're all called Mahijaha. So Divijaha, Mahijaha, Sarojaha, like that, Jalajaha. So yeah, that ja tells us that the origin of the birth. So we are all called Mahijaha. Even trees are also called Mahijaha. Therefore, we are just told our man is nothing but inverted tree. So this, but what is true to tree is true to the man. And so tree life and man's life same. And therefore, in Yajurveda, we have got a prayer. O Yamadeva, Vaiswanar, O Vaiswavasu, please let me fall down when complete maturity is there in my body, like a leaf that falls down from the branch of the tree automatically when it's stay in the connected to the tree branch is over, but not in between. If you want to take out the leaf out from the tree branch, when it is strongly attached to that, it is a little hard. But those plants, though in a fall season, they call it here. So in fall season, no tree will be ready, but because of the wind and other forces, all the trees will fall, all the flowers automatically, all the leaves automatically fall down and make the entire tree bald, so that the bald tree will be able to bear the snow that comes later on. So like that, our fall also should happen. So why it happens? Because Mahijaha. So whoever comes to the land, it is like that. So Bharasahaha bhavanti. So Mahakulinaha, those people, among all that, sandalwood is a very sacred, powerful, valuable, and expensive wood. You know that. And that even though sandalwood also tree is also like that, it is capable of bearing any amount of haram, any amount of weight, and therefore bharasaha bhavan. Saha is a sustainability or ability to that bhavanti, and mahakulina. So another definition for mahakula is they are able to substantiate all kinds of good in them, all kinds of good acts in them, and therefore they are really great. There is no comparison. But ordinary people who are not Mahakulinas will undergo a lot of changes in them. So this is the Niti that he is going to talk about, what is Mahakula. But so now and then he is trying to touch, define, describe about the nature, content, behavioral excellence, and the conduct one has got to adopt, that they cannot be simply Manushyas, they should have the Mahakulinas. Although you are not born Mahakulina, but through work, tapasa, brahma, vijigna, sasva, through work you can grow bigger. In India, in Bangalore, in Andhra, you know that president, one of the presidents of India, the Sanjeev Reddy, is a farmer's child, born in a small village, but he became the first citizen of the country for some time. So imagine that is how one can, by their own efforts, rise up, and that way, therefore, the kula becomes enhanced in that. So it is said that ordinary men cannot bear the weight, whereas bigger people, noble people will be able to withstand all sorts of weight, and that's the exact. I mean, responsibilities. That's why whenever we are in sorrow, as an ordinary people, we go to gurus, we go to Swamijis, true Swamijis, we go to temples and all this, because they are able to, though they are able to respond to our sorrows and give us appropriate decision, advice and instruction, then we will be completely happy. That's why it is said, so sagataihi supashitaihi prabodha padavim prapnuyanti maharshayah. See, all the maharshis are great learned mahapragnas, mahakulinas. They are able to give us appropriate advice that which will remove our sorrow and grief and all that, we become happy. So this is exactly what so here all the trees upon the earth, even sandalwood tree is also a mahija, and other also Mahijas. But what qualities the sandalwood tree has got, that is, it has got that bearings, all these things. So I think I can stop here and continue next. So, Om Swasti Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu Sarvam Sri Matrucharana Ravindarpanamastu Om Tat Satu. Thank you very much. We just end the meeting and meet next. Cheers.